So here's what I'm going to talk about today, the power of the predeterminations. Predeterminations in the sense of, not the religious sense of predeterminations, but in a psychoanalytic sense. A predetermination is something that's decided for you before, many times, we were even born. We are born into a set of expectations that are there before we come into the world. So for example, I grew up in a family, a professional family, a well-to-do family. My father's second-generation doctor, so the older brother was going to be a? Correct. Second daughter, me. What do they care what I am? I'm in a very paternalistic family, macho-oriented in Argentina. My family, my father has some Arabic ancestry, Sephardic Arabic ancestry, so more macho from that side. So I'm born, my sister is born, and we know we're going to go to college because it's a professional environment. However, nobody cares what we study because what is the expectation for us? We're getting married and have children. I'm so glad to be speaking to people that understand me. So that's exactly what we were going to do, get married and have children. So I had no guidance towards what are you going to study. But it's also, there's a whole set of predeterminations in my house where you don't even notice. So why am I showing this orange Opel? Because my mother, every time she needed a new car, my dad will give her a car for her birthday every few years. So one year, I think I was 12, she got this orange Opel. He thought it was the coolest thing. I thought it was horrible color. But now she had to get stuck with it because he's the one that chose the cars for her. And I got into my head, oh my God, I don't want to live like that for a man making all my decisions and me having to, put up with this color car. Now I drive an orange Mini Cooper now. So, see what I'm saying? The predeterminations follow you till old age. So like this, they affect your belief system. What you believe about yourself that you can do and what you believe that you can't do. What you believe in terms of where you're allowed to go and where you're not allowed to go. Because they're so ingrained, those decisions that were made there before you were even conscious. Somebody else is making them for you. So what happens is that we move on through life and you think that you get rid of them. So I thought I had to move 5,000 miles away to get rid of my predeterminations, right? And I moved to New York. So here I am, recently married. So I did everything within a month. I graduated and married, and I immigrated within a month. So talk about needing to get out of there fast. So I get here, and for the first several years of me living in the States, I don't ever consult a doctor because no matter what I have, I pick up the phone and I call my dad. Dad, these are my symptoms. So he's an orthopedic surgeon, mind you, not a clinician, not a family doctor. But I will say, these are my symptoms, and he'll diagnose me long distance. And he'll say, okay, pick one of these medications, all the drugs that I had from all the trips he makes where he brings me drugs to the house, right? So I have any prescription drug that I need, and I'm kind of the drug dealer for my friends because whatever they need, I have it. So it's like, okay, take this pill X number of times a day, and so years would go by, and that's the only authority I trust, my dad. No other doctor could ever do well by him, right? So fast forward a few years, and I'm like, you know what? I'm a mature woman. I cannot continue to call my dad for everything. I really need to choose a local doctor that I can go, and he can actually diagnose me in person. Okay, so I get that solved, and I'm thinking I'm getting over my predeterminations, right? They're not affecting me anymore. Fast forward to 2011. So in 2011, I write Poder de Mujer. And actually, the book, the publisher, it's going to get published by one of the major publishers in the world, Penguin, and they're designing the cover for me. So they send me their cover designs, and this is what I get. The tarot cards. What the heck is that? The book is called Poder de Mujer. Where is el poder ahí? It's like the antítesis del poder, ¿sí o no? It is horrible. So I'm horrified. I'm like, oh my God, this is all you got? This is horrible. This book is about, and what you got today is Find Your Inner Red Shoes, which is the English version of Poder de Mujer. But the book first came out in Spanish in 2012, and that's why the movement started. So I said, look, This book is about women finding their inner red shoe. What is it that makes them tick? Where's their passion? What are they? Where's their knowledge? Where's their interest? And how do they move forward with their own style instead of having to imitate somebody else's style? And this does not reflect any of that. That's from, I don't know, 18th century literature. So no worries. My publisher is a man. My agent is a man. So my agent says to me, don't worry, I'll talk to your publisher. Okay, so they do. And I get the second and third round of covers, and I get this. ¿Qué tal? Qué poderosas las tapas esas, right? Super powerful. What do you think? They're horrible. What is that woman kicking? The one in the middle, what is she doing kung fu? What is she doing? And what are we doing? Is this a retailer selling shoes? Where is that idea come from? So I start getting hysterical. I call my agent, Jim, you got to do something. This is horrible. What is his answer? You're not going to believe it. But he says, Mariela, he's American, so it's not that the macho thing from Argentina, he's not keeping that up. He's an Anglo guy. He says to me, Mariela, this is Penguin. They know what they're doing. They publish thousands of books a year. Choose a freaking cover and go with it, because listen what's going to happen. If you decide to take this to a designer yourself and you decide the cover, what's going to happen is if the book doesn't do well, it's going to be on you. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Yes, he's right. He's a man. He should know. He's the authority. He should know. Okay, I'm about to give in, but there's something in there that's not resonating. There's something that, you know what, also, and this is kind of a shameless truth, but it's the way it is. I think, you know what, I am going to be the one being in front of the camera with all of the interviews and the media tour, having to justify the stupid cover. And I'm going to have to explain, why do you have the woman kicking there? What is she kicking? And it comes down to that it's my face, it's my product, it's my idea. So I speak, se me prende la lamparita, right? I have like a flash bulb goes up. And I decide to call my editor, who's a woman who knows me for a long time. She used to be my agent before, whatever. So I say, Andrea, this is the situation. And she says, oh, this is what you got to do, girl. Get online, look at any images that you want, and that's what we're going to send Penguin. We're going to tell them what we want on the cover. You have to find something that resonates with you, that has to do with the content that you have in the book, and that's what we're going to tell them to put on the cover. And then we're going to make them feel that they came up with the idea. That's brilliant. So that's what the red shoe came to me. I'm like, you know what? Red shoes. This is a conversation. It's a code between women. We put on red shoes, we feel powerful. They don't have to be high heels. They can be flats. This is not about a high heel competition, even though I'm wearing them, and that's why I was sitting, because I can't walk with these shoes. But this is my 10th pair, right? This is my 10th pair. I have them in all kinds of shapes, and I have boots for the winter in New York and all that stuff. Because, of course, every Tuesday we do Red Shoe Tuesday, where we wear red shoes to go to work to show our support for other women's career advancement. So I can't go to any meetings now on a Tuesday without wearing the freaking shoes. And you know that I'm sorry, but I did that for you too. So in the end, it's going to help all of us, because we keep the conversation about opportunities in the workplace alive every week instead of once a year, March 8th, for International Women's Day, right? So I decided it's going to be a red shoe. It's an icon everybody can relate to. It's a language that it's not Spanish or English, or like, Consuelo was mentioning, it could be Argentina. We have people with 25 different languages on Facebook. From the United Arab Emirates to Canada, Australia, and Sweden and Turkey, women who are wearing red shoes on Tuesdays, right? So that's what I wanted, an icon. And that was the actual covers, which you've seen because you have the book outside, right? So this is how far the predeterminations have followed me. This has happened last year, girls and boys. So it's not that you can get rid of the predeterminations easily. They're inside us. And unless you're constantly vigilant and being observant of what you're doing and why you're doing what you're doing, you might get tripped by them. You might get tripped by letting somebody else make a decision for you and thinking that somebody else has that knowledge about you better than what you know for yourself. Why? Because very early on, kids put that trust in the adult near them, because obviously as a kid you cannot make a decision. But as you grow, you're supposed to, that trust is supposed to reverse and move on to you as an adult. What happens is that a lot of times women, we move from our parents' house to our partner's house, and even if we move by ourselves, we don't have enough of a transition where we believe and trust ourselves enough. And also because the way we're socialized, that we never end up transferring that authority and that autonomy to ourselves. We're always counting on somebody else making that decision for us. And whether it's our parents, or it's our partners, or it's our boss, or it's somebody else, we move away from, look, I want that challenging opportunity. I want that job. I think I'm ready for my next career move. I want to take the risk, instead of asking for permission every step of the way.